Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends, and today we are continuing our Dragon series with Dragon Dungeon 16. That is stage 16 of the Dragon Dungeon. I'm on my free-to-play account right now, Mad Capper 2. My main account, I'm running through my multi-battle so I can get some more food, so I can continue the wonderful grind that is this game. Also, you'll probably notice there's a slightly different screen setup. I'm trying some different things in Streamlabs in order to better facilitate streaming if and when I choose to stream. And of course, a side note of that, or as a byproduct of that, is that I'm using Streamlabs to record these just because it's easier for me, and then I pull it into a Wondershare. If I want to edit it, if I just go for one shot, I just upload it, which lately is what I've been doing. It's a lot easier for me if I don't have to go and edit everything. My first few videos, I edited everything, and now I'm just like, you know what, you guys will figure it out. Anyway, so before we get into Dragon 16, let's get a recap of Dragon 19. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. Once again, I apologize for the sizing. One day I will figure out how to fix that, but today, folks, today will not be that day. So the biggest thing to note is that, of course, the artifact star rating. Now that we have artifact 4-star artifacts, we have about 23.6 of those that are dropping. The 5-star is 58.2 and 6-star at 18.2%. Obviously, they pulled about 10% from rare, or from 6-star, sorry, and about 12 or 13% from 5-star in order to make that 4-star pool, and that's of course over 110 total runs. Also to note, I did get 3 ancient drops in this run, which was nice. It was a nice little bonus to have, and I kept about 63%, or I sold about 63% of the drops. Automatically sold all 4-star. Also, a side note, because they were irrelevant to me, the 4-star rare epic and Legos, I just denoted. I didn't put them in the top area as to what, you know, whether they were flat attack, percentage, HP. They're all sellable for, in my opinion. So I just wanted to put them all there. So, the biggest thing that I noticed is that the artifact rarity didn't change a whole lot, making me think that the 16 energy would be fairly consistent between the two as far as the rarity, whether it was a rare, epic, or legendary. 8.2% of them were legendary, 24.5% epic, and 67.3% were rare. And that is similar to the Dragon 20 runs. Dragon 20, I have added more data to it. I'm up to 331 runs, and I'm at 5.5% legendary, 29% epic, and 65% rare. So you could argue a little more epic, but then that legendary has dropped a little bit. I think it's all within the margin of error when you're considering the number of runs I've done. So it'll be interesting once we look at the data for Dragon 16 and to see what the differences are. So that's the Dragon 19 runs. Now let's jump on to, this is my free-to-play account right now, so I'm running my multi-turns on my main account, so it's just an opportunity. You'll also notice a change to the screen. This is the same screen I'm using for streaming. I use Streamlabs just to create these videos, just for ease of use. I should probably use a little better software, but whatever, this works for me. The bad news is, because I'm in the middle of working on my Streamlab changes, it's gonna look like this, but you still get the idea. And of course, you see the nice little window that'll be my my webcam when I can get a green screen is too far bright. I need a front light to be able to balance that, or I just look like a big whiteout. So no point in putting that up right now, but don't worry, there'll be plenty of sarcastic comments incoming. So let's take a look at my free-to-play account. This is actually a really good free-to-play account. I was lucky to pull some very good ones, champions, and it's gotten me pretty well in the game. I'm hitting Nightmare, 3-key Nightmare right now, and continually improving. So when we look at stage 16 of the Dragon, it is the last place that you get 14 energy drops until you move up to that 16 energy. The reason why I chose that was to see whether or not that affected the drop rates. I fully expect that the number of 4-star drops will increase, the number of 5 and 6-star will decrease, but what about that artifact rarity? Is this indeed where the difference comes in? So Normally, I actually ran this on my main account just to make it a little bit faster. Sub 1 minute runs are a little bit better than this, but it's the same sort of deal. You can run through. Another thing to note, because this is a void affinity, you can't use a weak affinity tank in order to take and absorb damage, but this team shouldn't have any problems. I do farm Dragon 20 with this team with about a 95% win rate, so I'm not too worried about it. It just takes a little while longer than my main account. As you can see, I'm not left wanting. I have a Martyr, I have a Venus, I have a Grizzled Jarl and Eothar, and of course I have an Apothecary to heal it up. I started with Kale. He is not present in this, and I do have a couple of Cold Hearts that I'm working on, but they're a little too fragile for Dragon just yet. Hopefully I'll continue to get them up there and ready to go. I also don't have a very good Reser, so I am looking to hopefully pull one of those. I was hoping to get Reliquary Tender out of my Void Shards. I didn't have a whole lot in this account and wasn't lucky enough, but we'll look at getting someone. I think I do have a Mistress somewhere around there, so I might bring her in, so it just makes it a little bit quicker if you can bring a Cold Heart in with the backup ability to Reser. So this strat is a slightly different one. I bully strat with the big hits with my Cold Heart and Royal Guard on my main account. On this one, we bring in Eothar and we bring him in to land those poisons. Him and Venus are going to put a bunch of poisons on there, and see, that's where most of the damage comes. It's a perfectly legitimate strat. A lot of people do that with Draco, and if you have a Zavia, it's even more doubly so. I would love to have a Zavia on this team and just melt that dragon away in seconds, but this is what we have. Still pretty decent time. 120. I actually got my best time ever on stage 16. I'm sure it's because I haven't done it. So there we go. Defense with accuracy and crit damage. This is a free-to-play account, so I'm going to keep that. Make sure that I can't use it somewhere. So I've already run the Dragon 16 runs. I did 100 runs exactly. Did it yesterday during the day while I was putzing around the house last night. And let's just take and share the data that we have for it. That's our Dragon 20 runs. How about this one? Dragon 16. So there's Dragon 16, and what you will see is some neat things over here. First off, other than speed being really low, Destroy actually came in as the #1 set. Now, in the previous runs and over time, over 300 runs, Stalwart is still #1 on my Dragon 20, and Stalwart's still in the top on my Dragon 19. But if for some reason in these 100 runs, it came in kind of low compared to, within the range. Destroy was a big one, but once again, a clear pattern of speed, accuracy, and lifesteal dropping at a much more infrequent rate. The other thing to notice is the average sell went from over 25 to just over 23. So I am losing any, and I didn't get any ancients here. Obviously with this one, 86% sold, 14% keep. Now, we were curious about whether or not we would see a significant drop in the rarity between the two runs, and what Dragon 16 produced was identical or near identical artifact rarity. Legendary came in at 7%, epic 28%, and rare 65%. That is within the margin of error as 19 and 20, leading me to believe perhaps artifact rarity is absolutely random, or set to these figures approximately. Maybe it's 730 and the rest to rare, and it just shakes back and forth with a little RNG. I don't know, but what I do see is all three of them are within that kind of margin of error. In fact, Dragon 20 has so far produced the least number of legendaries, although it does have the most runs on it, so maybe it's a little bit more normalized. The other thing I noticed, and this is what we of course expected, is suddenly there's a large leap in 4-star artifacts at 44%, 45% 5-star, and 15% 6-star. So again, if you look at that versus Dragon 19, you're looking at about a 5 or 4% drop in 6-star, and the large bulk of it dropped from about almost 58. It was 58%, and it went all the way down to 41% for 5-star, meaning you're getting less useful artifacts. But the flip side of that is if you can get 100% win rate on your Dragon 16 and you're struggling with 19 or 20 or getting any higher, then this is a perfectly acceptable place. When you think about it, most of your gear is going to be sold once you start doing these massive runs that you're not going to keep a lot of your gear. So it's acceptable. Now, it's not optimal, but it's at least acceptable to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to run 16. I'm going to get 100%. I'm going to be the most efficient with my energy because I know I lose, 10% of the time or 15% of the time at higher levels. This way, I know I'm going to get those 6 stars still. I know I'm going to get them. The big thing here is I still kept 15% or 14% of the total dropped artifacts. When you look at my Dragon 20 runs, and my Dragon 20 runs are 331 total runs. I keep 14.7%. So keeping 14.7% of Dragon 20 and 14% of Dragon 16, and I'm in the I wouldn't say I'm end game, but I'd say I'm in the late game. And being able to have about the same drop result as far as what's useful to keep tells me that you can probably get away with this. Now, the downside of it is you can see I only got 2 6-star legendary and I got 3 4-star, which really sucked. I got a couple of 5-star as well. So that, the drop area on those 3 Legos is more than I got at Dragon 19. At Dragon 19, I only got 1 4-star Lego. I got 3 6-star, and I actually got 5 5-star legendary in that set of runs. So there might be a disparity in the rarity of, or the star rating of the higher rarity. I don't know if that's something that they pushed into the game. I certainly don't have enough runs, and I'm certainly not going to spend any more energy on this. So that's about it. I just wanted to give you an overview of what that looks like. And I guess the big thing is if you can farm Dragon 20, farm Dragon 20. If you can't, 19 is perfectly acceptable. What I would say is, and let's get back to looking at the screen as we wrap this up. Boom. Okay, so as we look at this and as we get back to the screen, you have options with the Dragon. So what I would say, if you cannot farm Dragon 20, if you just don't have the team that can reliably kill it, you've got 4 stages here, especially these stages, 17, 18, 19. You've got 3 different affinities that you can choose to attack depending on what your team composition is. You'll definitely have one of these affinities that you're going to be better at, and you're going to probably receive similar drops with a slightly larger amount of 4-star, but still with a reasonably similar result when it comes to usable artifacts. So don't try to push for stage 19 and get a 90% win rate if you can do 18 or 17 and get 100% is the basic thing. And if you just have an all-around team and no matter what happens because of the weak affinity on your team, you die to all 3 of these stages at some point, then certainly it's perfectly fine to go into stage 16. From what I've seen, going to that 14 energy drop does not seem to change the rarity of the artifact at all, and it drops. It seems to be a pretty linear drop as far as how many 4-star to 5-star to 6-star you get. So we do have one final video to do, and I will drop that probably sometime in a day or 2. I just have some I've actually already run the runs. I just have to polish it up. I also ran those on my free-to-play account instead of my main account because I did need to do some grinding, and I did have some saved up energy on that account from I think I'd finished the monthly reward and the weekly reward, and I got all that energy. So I wanted to use it on something productive like the Dragon. So I did do the level 13 runs on that account, but that shouldn't change it. The main thing is that it's a lower, and you'll see probably not a whole lot is going to surprise you when you see those runs. So with that, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to do a Dragon 20 run on this team, and I'm going to leave you with that information. I hope this was useful to you. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the rest of it, which will be a Dragon 13 breakdown as well as an overall synopsis, will be on that video, and obviously finishing up. If there's anything else you want to see, or if you have any questions, concerns, or just general comments, please leave them in the comments down below. Share this with your friends if you liked it, and most importantly, please don't eat yellow snow. Keep your stick on the ice, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.